and then reaching the 1618 toward $1.97. What's up guys, Kate here with another crypto update. Let's kick it off. Pulling up the Bitcoin price chart on the left hand side, and we have the HBAR price chart on the right. They're both on the daily time frame. Now, if you believe in the crypto asset class, you believe that this bear market will eventually pass, and we'd be looking for a retracement. The question is, have we bottomed? I know many people, rightfully so, are targeting lower levels in this bear market. And I shared this yesterday on Instagram. So we have Grayscale. They are a subsidiary of digital currency group DCG, and they hold, even today, over 3% of all available Bitcoin in circulation, over 600,000 Bitcoin, almost 11 billion US dollars. Now we can see articles everywhere, and some of these were even yesterday. Digital Currency Group, is the fallout from FTX over, or is the worst yet to come? Digital Currency Group confirmed shutdown of wealth management subsidiary. The crypto broker Genesis announced a massive wave of layoffs. We have Barry Silbert, the founder of DCG, reveals the company owes $2 billion to its subsidiaries and external creditors. Even selling Grayscale as a business would likely not have a big enough impact against the $2 billion in liabilities and loans that they have today. And last year, 2022, easily the hardest and worst year that we've ever seen in the crypto market. We had Luna and the depegging of its stablecoin UST. We had 3AC and their hedge fund. We had Celsius. We had Voyager. And we had FTX completely collapse. A lot of these groups held massive amounts of crypto and Bitcoin, and when they go down, they have to sell their holdings, dumping the market, creating a death spiral or cascading effect. And keep in mind, I'm not trying to promote fear or make a FUD video for clicks. I'm an absolute permabull when it comes to the fundamentals of some of these networks that are building through this bear. I believe that Web 2 and the dot-com bubble and all these new companies and FANG stocks that we know today, Facebook, Meta, you have Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. So just like the FANG stocks that we know today, I believe in the years ahead, we're going to find out which are the top 5, 10, 15 primary crypto networks or protocols that are processing billions of transactions per day, have some of the largest institutions, banks, governments running applications directly on these DLT networks. So I am super bullish on legitimate alts long term, but we have to talk about potential fear in the market. So let's hope that Digital Currency Group is not the next firm to go belly up. Markets are drying up, meaning there is less volume, there is less liquidity, there is less trading and less buyers and sellers on each side within these order books. With lower liquidity and less trading, this leads to less stable prices, meaning that slippage and price manipulation are risks in low liquidity environments. So that's where you can see some crazy liquidation events, or you could see, crazy wicks to the upside or downside as well. An example of this would be HBAR right here at almost 10 cents back in May of 2022, and it crashed and had a flash crash wick all the way down, about a 50% drop under 5 cents. That is a huge opportunity for anybody that maybe had a staggered limit buy at some lower levels. And the same exact thing can happen to the upside. When the order books are a lot more thin, there can be slippage and huge price jumps in either direction. So of course, when HBAR was pushing an all-time high, we had some big volume, we had wicks to the downside, and then big wicks to the upside, creating a high almost towards 60 cents. And just imagining worst case scenario, yes, the markets would dry up, we'd be in a longer bear market, but the thing is, when you go back to March 2020, when markets were in absolute fear, guess what? When we were down here and we did this flash crash and Bitcoin crashed under 4,000, Ethereum was under 100 bucks, XRP went to like 11-12 cents. There's still going to be fear in this market when we do find a bottom. There was still fear when Bitcoin was at $3,900. Mainstream media and even well-respected people definitely had some valid arguments for lower prices. There were so many potential catalysts for it to be even worse than it was during a global pandemic. So as that famous adage goes, bottoms do not feel like bottoms and tops do not feel like tops. So it's very possible we have bottomed, we're due for a retracement in the future, and I at least think in 2023, whether it's this quarter, which I'm hoping, or at the end of the year, we're still going to have a good retracement. So if you're a mega bear, you think that Bitcoin's just going to keep crashing, we have a big old long cup until the next Bitcoin halving. Me, I am waiting for Bitcoin to begin its retracement. There's a few things that people are looking for. Some are arguing a blow off top. I'm rooting for that, don't get me wrong. Other people are seeing maybe a potential move like we saw in this cycle where we have a retracement and then another crash. So are we kind of finding our bottom here? And we still have a retracement to the upside where Bitcoin could go back to 30, 40, even 50K. And now, not financial advice, but I believe in this market, and I believe without a shadow of a doubt that Bitcoin inevitably goes back up to 40, 50K in the future. Keep in mind, from 2018 to the all-time high, Bitcoin did over a 20x return, over a 2,000% increase. For us to even do a basic retracement, even from this low, or if we go to, 10, 12, or 14K, To me, it wouldn't be crazy to see a 100% or 300% increase or retracement in this market. We've seen it many times. But one thing I want to discuss is this. We know that different assets had an increase in their circulating supply. So turning the lights on, I want to do an example for Bitcoin looking at HBAR. We can apply this to Algo, we can apply this to Casper and XRP as well. But the one altcoin that was least affected by an increase in circulating supply would be XRP. So for this example, let's just use the date April 10th, so 4/10 on 2022 right there. And we're just going to ballpark it and say that Bitcoin in the middle of this candle, we're just going to say $42,000 was the price. We could say it was, almost 43. We could go down to 40. We're going to say 42K on April 10th, 2022. Now, what was HBAR's price during that same day when Bitcoin was 42K? HBAR's price was about 21 cents. So we can zoom in here just to show you. So we have a vertical line for the date, April 10th, 2022, about 21 cents. Now, when we go to CoinMarketCap, and let's just do this fresh for anybody new, we're going to go down to cryptocurrencies, then to historical snapshots. We'll scroll down all the way to 2022, and we'll click April 10th. So it's just a week-by-week update. Do a control find for Hedera, and we can see on April 10th, 2022, Hedera's market cap was $4 billion. The price was just about 21 cents. And the circulating supply last year for HBAR was 19.5 billion. Looking at HBAR today, the circulating supply has increased to 25 billion, about 50% in circulation. So what I'm discussing in this video is when Bitcoin inevitably does go back up to even that 40K price point, what do you think a conservative estimate for HBAR's price would be when we're considering or accounting for the increase in circulating supply? So we'll discuss that, and even just looking at Bitcoin currently, we do know that there is an open gap on the Bitcoin CME futures at about 35,000, right around that 382 Fibonacci retracement. So notice that we're at the 50% retracement, about 42K per Bitcoin. The reason I'm doing this is just comparing previous cycles and drawing another Fibonacci retracement. We can see a very similar move. We came up actually higher to the 618. So with our estimate, we're just looking at a retracement up to the 50%. Notice when Bitcoin later came to the 50% and blasted through that, we got the show on the road with the next Bitcoin halving and the next Bitcoin bull run. So that's one of the reasons I chose 42K as an example. So back in April 10th, HBAR's supply was 19.5 billion. Today, the supply is 25 billion. We can see that 25 billion divided by the 19.5 billion, that is an increase of about 28.8% or a 29% increase in circulating supply for HBAR. Now looking at the historical snapshot, we can see the market cap of HBAR when it was ranked 35 was just over 4 billion. So remember that market capitalization is nothing but last traded price, the current price multiplied by the circulating supply. So if we took the price of HBAR this day and multiplied it by the total coins in circulation, you would get the market capitalization of 4 billion. But now to estimate what the price of HBAR would be with this same market cap and also account for a 25 billion token supply, let's do this. Take the market cap of 4 billion. Then we'll copy the circulating supply today of 25.2 billion. So 4 billion divided by the circulating supply today, and that price would be approximately a 16 cent HBAR. So rather than a 21 cent HBAR, due to the increase in circulating supply about 29%, to be more conservative and solely looking at market cap. And this is just one way to do it. There are so many ways to do it. So if you have a better example or a comparison, please share down below. But so let's just say about a 16 cent HBAR, okay? Now, a quick reminder for HBAR versus Tether and US dollar, there are gaps that are at lower levels that could validate a lower HBAR in the future. We don't know if we are done with this bear market, just to be clear. But we also have open gaps in liquidity for the HBAR price chart around 42 to 43 cents. Do I believe that those gaps in the future close, meaning that HBAR eventually gets back up to that level? Yes, I do, and that is not financial advice. Sharing my thoughts here, guys, the only person you have to convince is yourself. So remember that this estimate of a 16 cent HBAR if Bitcoin hit 42K, that was solely based off market cap. Market cap is a social construct. There's so many other different ways you could look at this and still be conservative and still make sense of a variety of price ranges. And even drawing a Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high price to the low that we have hit this year, we can see the 236 Fibonacci retracement is at a very interesting level, right around 16 cents. So we have the Fibonacci retracement around 16 cents. We also have that estimate if Bitcoin did in fact get back up to that 50% retracement per the all-time high. Then we can see the 50% retracement pretty darn close to 42K, 42.1. And theoretically, if you believe in HBAR, guys, you're going to believe that it still gets back up to the 236. We also have to know that HBAR is one of the few alts that is yet to do any type of substantial retracement to previous levels right here, the bottom of this cup. which of course is at 16 cents. And I know we have lower wicks as well that I'd be watching, but I just wanted to show you a very obvious key level. And also, here's an example right here of an open gap for HBAR on a smaller time frame, and we can see about 43 cents right here. We can see the 702 Fibonacci retracement is exactly 42 cents. So I'm definitely watching that level, and yes, I do believe when Bitcoin finally does wake up that there's a high probability that HBAR does very well in the future. So if you guys caught the last video, we discussed different levels of RSI in the 3-day and talked about this is the biggest bear market that HBAR has experienced ever when you're looking at the 3-day momentum. We can apply this to other altcoins as well, but bottom line, when Bitcoin does in fact retrace, be ready for HBAR and a variety of other altcoins to begin retracing and battling through these retracements, the 236, the 382, the 50, the 702. And not financial advice, but yes, of course I believe in some crazy high prices for some of these altcoins. I've always believed that HBAR will break $1 long term with utility. Even drawing a fib when HBAR actually came out right here to the low and just dragging it all the way over, what can we see? We can see, and let me just try to make it as clean as possible. So right there, perfectly on the wick swing high to the swing low, HBAR's all-time low price under 1 penny. What do we see? The 4.236 in tandem with this 2618 are basically at a very similar level. As you can see, wicking to perfection right here at the 127 and even the 1618 right there for the high. So I showed you an open gap at 42 cents. We do have gaps at lower levels. And I'll be cautiously optimistic if we do have some more black swans and things dry up. I'll keep my lower limit buys ready to go, because if you truly believe in your assets and you believe that they will appreciate in value in the future, your mouth should be watering at some of these prices. And remember, nothing is guaranteed. Crypto is risky, but yes, I will say, and this is not financial advice, just one dude's subjective opinion, I personally believe that HBAR can break $1 someday, if not way more. And I know some people like microcaps and things like that, but I'm also looking for legitimate alts that are future-proofing and they have lots of funds and money to survive the future. We can see over $360 million that the HBAR Foundation has already invested into their ecosystem to build. And I do like the absolute industry titans sitting on their governing council, Google, IBM, Boeing, and more. And we can look at different bottoming structures, guys. You have to understand, from this all-time high to this low, we are down 93, almost 94%. Can it get worse? Yeah, absolutely. 2022 taught me that. But eventually, we get a pop, whether it's a blow-off top like we've seen some alts do, or even just a basic retracement. But of course, I just encourage everybody to keep doing your own research. Nothing wrong with watching YouTube videos, but do not just rely on them. Make sure that you're actually going through the websites, at least trying to skim through a white paper, and over time, it just really makes sense. You have Aberdeen, a huge wealth manager. We have Tata, which is just another behemoth based out of India. We have DLA Piper, a huge law firm, Deutsche Telekom, and keep in mind their subsidiary T-Mobile, Boeing. These are massive companies. We have Nomura in Japan also launching DeFi solutions. Remember, Shinhan Bank was actually doing a proof of concept, a POC, with Hedera's hash graph for central bank digital currencies. We have LG launching NFTs in an actual Hedera wallet for their smart TVs. That's huge. So I know current prices are no fun to look at, but you have to keep your eyes on the prize. You can go to hbarfoundation.org. I also have an HBAR playlist on my YouTube channel. We can go to the ecosystem. You could go through the actual blogs. You can see the funding behind these projects and understand what is a legitimate crypto project in this space. You can see micropayments, NFTs, stablecoins, DeFi, a metaverse fund, and more. And then you can click the blog and actually go through actual partners that are also recent and what they're actually building. And you can also go to Hedera.com and go under use cases and get a better understanding of how wide and how massive the opportunity is for some of these layer 1 projects, whether it be HBAR, XRP, Algorand, Casper, and more. They can go into a variety of industry verticals, payments, healthcare, identity, permissioned blockchains for privacy features with enterprises, data compliance, fraud mitigation, tokenization of assets, and sustainability. Remember, for the fraud mitigation, they just partnered with, DCX, some type of a commodities exchange, which is huge, whether it's wheat, rice, etc., and using DLT or Hedera's hash graph to actually mitigate fraud and reduce costs for customers. So when these massive businesses are leveraging DLT networks or other DAGs like Hedera's hash graph, the idea is that these applications and use cases can save billions of dollars in losses or money that's been unaccounted for. It can also create better efficiency. Instead of waiting days for something, this can be done within a matter of seconds. Therefore, these industry titans or all these major enterprises can be more efficient and make more money. We also have Terra or Tara, Precision Trade 3 on Twitter, even targeting HBAR for the next bull run. And overall, when I see a weekly chart, HBAR versus the US dollar, look how low this RSI is. On the macro, I am telling you, when this RSI and momentum starts climbing, get ready to see the price start moving hard. So her wave counts, we can see up to wave 1 around 39 cents, and then actually correcting down to the 618 around 17 cents. So she's targeting, let's see, 39 cents to 17 cents, potentially up to 75 cents, coming back down to 50 cents, and then reaching the 1618 toward $1 at 97 cents. Hope you guys enjoyed. Links are in the top of the YouTube video description, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate hitting the like button and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, my link tree is linked right in the top of this YouTube video description with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.